My name is Vessel, and today I would like to show you our new ScrumBoard application for ServiceNow called ScrumBoard4U. We're currently looking at a ServiceNow instance on which ScrumBoard4U has been installed. The core of ScrumBoard4U is the actual ScrumBoard, but there's also an administration component available, but I'll discuss that later in this video. So for now, we'll go ahead and navigate to the ScrumBoard4U app in a new tab. So this is the ScrumBoard4U app, and we're able to select here the release that we'd like to see. So I'll go ahead and select a release on which this just starts loading, and it shows us quite a bit of information. So I'd like to start at the top here, and as you can see, it shows us the durations. We're able to do a search on the various items that are available here. And we have an info button, which actually, if I press this, it shows us a legend of all the items that are available in this view. So the colors here, which is a slight reddish, correspond to a store submission story. And we're also able to do a refresh here on the right side. Now, the ScrumBoard4U app shows us the various teams per selected release. So I previously selected this one, and we're able to see that this contains about 2 teams which have various sprints beneath them. So we're able to actually scroll between these different sprints that are available, which you can use these arrows here, and we're able to see the different stories that have been allocated to every different sprint. Now you can see all these bars, which here is yellowish and this one is red, and of the overall team you can see this one, which is also a shade of yellow. Now they correspond with the amount of points that have been allocated per sprint and how much points are actually in use by the various different stories. So these points are generally used to define the amount of time that'll be required for each story, or the complexity. And whereas a higher amount of points usually means that it's more complex and takes more time. So you can actually define, which is basic ServiceNow functionality, but you can define in these sprints the maximum amount of points. So if you move, for example, this story, which has about 10 points, which means it's, well, relatively difficult, we can actually move this, for example, to sprint 1, and we'll see that the bar will actually update. And it has become red now because it's going over the maximum amount of points. Now, you saw that I was able to move this story freely from sprint team to sprint team. Now I'm also able to actually move this story back to the backlog and, for example, move this story in here, just so we're able to freely navigate here and move and drag these stories between various sprints. We're also able to do this in the general overview, so where we're able to see the second team as well. We could also just open this team and move out a specific story and move it back to the backlog, or I could just close this one and actually hover over the story items. You can see that the colors are matching to the expanded view, and we're actually able, when we hover over it, to see which kind of story is this. And we're able to actually grab this story and move it to a different sprint. And you see everything is updated, the bars are updated, but I could also say, well, I'd like to move this one back to the backlog. So, in short, these are the capabilities that ScrumBoard4U offers at the moment. And for now, I'd like to move back to the ServiceNow instance to show you the administration component that I mentioned earlier in this video. So in the administration component, we're able to set several different properties of the ScrumBoard4U app. We're able to enable a certain type of debugging, and we're enabling the percentage with the capacity bar. So the capacity bar was the amount of points per sprint and per team. And we're able to see that when it has to indicate that it's almost at maximum capacity. So in this case it's on 70%, which is the default value. And we're able to actually define the various different colors that have to be associated with when something is over capacity, maximum capacity, almost maximum capacity, or when it's very much clear of the maximum capacity. Now we're able to use CSS properties for this, so we're able to use the various default colors that CSS supports, or we can use hexadecimal values, or even RGB. Now, aside from that, we're able to define the messages that appear within ScrumBoard4U, and of course we have the contact support. So this was the basic overview video for ScrumBoard4U. I hope you enjoyed it.